Hi guys, Black is here, and this is going to be another air conditioning update. Okay, I got my recovery machine, Freon recovery machine from eBay, 430 bucks. I vacuumed the Freon out of my system, okay? I then went upstairs, took the door off of the evaporator cover, and I removed the .57 piston. Okay, I said in the last video it was a .51. Some reason I thought the man said .51, but it wasn't a .51, it was a .57. So now the first time I got a piston, I went to him and told him I had a 2-ton Goodman condenser. He gave me the 57. So I went back to him a second time and I told him it was a 2-ton Goodman with a 2-ton Ring end coil evaporator. And the first time I thought he said 51. The second time I heard him say 57. So I went home and I was getting ready to put the 57 in. And I looked at him and realized, damn, this 57 looks just like the 51. So I come downstairs, get a magnifying glass, they're both 57. So I go back to him and I decide, you know what? The old condenser was a 3.5 ton. So I told him, give me a piston for a 3-ton Goodman condenser, even though my condenser is a 2-ton. He gave me a 67. Now this hole was noticeably large. I came home, put the 67 in, put everything back together, put a vacuum on it. Now, I'm gonna tell you the truth, the weird thing was it vacuumed down to like, I think it vacuumed down to like 1,200. And it seemed like they want to go below 1,200. And it was real hot that day. The sun was beaming out on my thing and it got really, really, really hot. Also, it ran low in oil, my vacuum pump. So I'm like, all I did was unbolt one little line and bolted it back up. So I put a new seal on it. So I said, I doubt it's leaking, So I just shut the vacuum thing off at 1,200 microns or whatever. And I filled it up with Freon, turned it on. And okay, with the 57, the pressure would barely go past 155. It would, and to get to 155, I had to have like 450 head pressure. Well, with the 6 and 7, the head pressure is way down to like less than 300. It's about 300. I've added some Freon to get it. I think it's like 320 or whatever. The low side, I think is like 155 or 160 or something like that. But the air conditioning is working a lot better. A lot better. It's cooling a lot better. Now, I would call it fixed, right? So I went to celebrate, went to dinner, went to my sister's house to pick up some mail stuff I had ordered. And when I get back home, I had the temperature set at 76. So I was expecting to get home, the air conditioner is going to be off, the temperature inside the house is 76. Well, when I got home, the temperature inside the house was 76, but the air conditioner was running. So I'm thinking maybe the air conditioning came on like right before I got home. So I said, I'm gonna give it about 15 minutes to run and shut itself off. It kept running. And the whole time the compressor sound drony or something, like something wasn't right. So I cut the damn thing off. The house was cool inside, so I said, man, forget, I'm just gonna go to bed. So I go to bed. The next morning I get up. Now, when I put the Freon in, it was real hot outside today. It was like damn near 90 degrees. And I think when the air conditioner was running, I think the pressure was, like I said, was like 300, just under 300. And the low side was like around 150. So I had a feeling it was kind of low. And I kind of had a feeling that, I'm not sure. Anyway, so I shouldn't even say that. So I wake up the next morning and I decided, I'm gonna come in here and make a video saying I fixed it, right? Coming out in the hallway, and then I noticed this. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, what the hell? I'm thinking, well, maybe it froze up and that's the reason why it was sounding the way it was. And when all that ice thawed out, it drained out. But then I'm thinking, even if it iced up, it shouldn't drain out like that. So I'm like, something is wrong. So I crank it up and I added some Freon because I had a feeling it was kind of low. It was cooler the next day. And I added some Freon and I noticed that there was no water running out. There was very little water running out of the hose, very little. And I went upstairs to see, why, the drain pan was full of water. And I noticed the water was running down the back of the evaporator part on top of the heater. And I'm like, oh man, you know what? I just need a new system. That's what it is. I just need a new system. So I called when I went to get that piston, I ran into a guy who used to work at my apartment complex. He was a maintenance guy. And we talked and I told him what was going on and he gave me his number. So I called him and told him that I had water running out of the evaporator. And he asked me, was my evaporator sitting flat? And then I remember when I put that evaporator in, it was rocking a little bit. And I was like, no, it's rocking a little bit. And he said, you need to put it flat and make sure it's leaning towards the front where the water need to run out. So I go upstairs. I didn't vacuum out the system. I just went upstairs, took the damn door off, and I got a piece of plastic. It's not important where I got the plastic from, but I got a piece of plastic and I put it in there and wedged it up under the evaporator so now it doesn't rock. It stays forward. Covered up the door, turned the air conditioning back on. Water is running out of the drain pipe now. So it's not leaking upstairs no more. The air conditioning works a lot better, but to me, it's still not getting as cold as it should. Now, some people think it's because of the 2-ton condenser. They say it's too small. But then I'm like, it has a 2-ton evaporator and all the technicians pretend like your stuff need to match, right? 2-ton evaporator, 2-ton condenser. So what's wrong? Well, anyway, the Coolray guy, he says he owns his own air conditioning business. Well, anyway, I called him, texted him, and he's supposed to stop by today and take a look at it and see, what could be done, within a reasonable price. But right now, the air conditioner is running. It's set on 76. I don't know what the outside temperature is, but when it cool down, it'll keep up. But in the hottest part of the day, if I turn it to 76, it run all day. If I turn it to 77, it'll run for a little while and cut off. I don't have to be real cool inside the house. I don't really like it real cold because it messes up my sinuses. 76, I'll be happy. 77, I'm okay, but I gotta have a little fan to keep me cool. Now, if I go outside and come back in, it'll be cold as hell then. But for the most part, it's fixed. It just, I was gonna tell you, the temperature drop is only like 8 degrees. Because if I take my little laser gun, pointed at the return vent, it's like whatever the inside temperature, that's what the return vent is. And when I pointed at one of the vents to blowing the air out, it's only like 8 degrees below. So that's another reason I know something is wrong. I don't know what it is. So like I said, I'm gonna get him to come today. It may be a little low in Freon. I don't know. I think it's full. I think. Anyway, I'll let y'all know. Drake, y'all have a good day.